5 Urban Legends from Around the World. First story. La Llorona, the weeping woman who haunts the night. Urban legend from Mexico. Have you ever heard crying near a river, when no one's there? A woman's voice, soft and broken, whispering, "Ay, mis hijos." If you hear it, run. Because it might be La Llorona, the weeping woman. The story of La Llorona is one of the most famous urban legends in Latin America, especially in Mexico. It's been told for centuries, passed down from parent to child as a warning, and a reminder that some mistakes can never be undone. The name La Llorona literally means the weeping woman. And her cry isn't just sad. It's terrifying. There are many versions of her tale, but most go something like this. Once, there was a woman named Maria. She was said to be breathtakingly beautiful, born into poverty but admired by all. She caught the eye of a wealthy nobleman, and they fell in love, or so she thought. They married, had 2 children, and for a while, Maria lived a fairy tale life. But over time, her husband grew distant, traveling often, losing interest in her. And then, he left her. For another, wealthier woman. One day, in a fit of rage and heartbreak, Maria did the unthinkable. She drowned her children in a river. As soon as the water swallowed them, the horror of what she had done hit her. She ran into the river herself, screaming, never to be seen alive again. But Maria's death wasn't the end of her story. According to legend, when she reached the gates of the afterlife, she was turned away. Why? Because she came alone. Her children's souls were missing. Now, she's cursed to roam the earth. Wailing. Searching. Crying for the children she'll never find. People across Mexico and Central America claim to have seen her. A ghostly woman in a white dress, her hair soaking wet, her face obscured by shadows or a veil. Always near water. Some say she floats above rivers. Others claim she walks silently until she vanishes into mist. But it's her voice that people remember most. A low, sorrowful cry. "Ay, mis hijos." Witnesses say if you hear her, you're already too close. In many stories, La Llorona is dangerous. They say she confuses living children for her own and tries to take them. Some believe she lures people toward rivers, where they're never seen again. Parents still use her story to warn their kids. Don't go out at night. Or La Llorona will take you. But La Llorona isn't just a ghost story. She's a symbol of grief, regret, and punishment. Some say her story reflects the pain of colonialism. Others see her as a dark reflection of motherhood pushed to its limits. Either way, her legend endures. Because fear, like water, runs deep. So the next time you're near a river at night, and you hear someone crying in the dark, don't look. Don't follow the sound. Just walk away. And hope. She's not looking for you. Second story. The White Lady of Balit Drive, Philippines' most haunted road. Urban legend from Philippines. Balit Drive is a narrow road in Quezon City, Metro Manila, named after the large balit, banyan, trees that line it. By day, it seems ordinary. But at night, the road transforms, dimly lit, wrapped in shadows, with a haunting silence. Locals say it's cursed. Haunted. Alive. The legend speaks of a white lady, a ghostly figure dressed in a long, flowing white dress, with long black hair covering her face. Some say she appears suddenly in the back seat of taxis or private cars. Others claim she stands in the middle of the road at night. Motionless, staring. Until she disappears right before impact. Who is she? That part, no one knows for sure. There are several theories about the White Lady's identity. A young woman who was hit by a car and left to die. A girl who was assaulted and murdered by a taxi driver in the 1950s. Or perhaps, she's the restless spirit of someone whose body was buried near the old balit trees. Whatever the origin, the sightings began decades ago, and they never really stopped. Taxi drivers in the 1970s and 80s were the first to report her. Many claimed they picked up a beautiful woman in white. She would sit silently in the back, then vanish mid-ride. Some even crashed after seeing her face in the rearview mirror, pale, eyes sunken, mouth twisted in a silent scream. Modern stories say the same. From college students to night shift workers, the white lady has appeared, disappeared, and left behind fear that lasts a lifetime. In Filipino folklore, balit trees are believed to be the homes of spirits and otherworldly beings, elementals, tikbalangs, or kapras. People are warned never to cut them down or disrespect them. And what's Balit Drive filled with? Exactly. It's said that the white lady's spirit is tied to one of these ancient trees, her soul unable to move on. So, is she real? Skeptics say she's a myth, created to scare kids or explain late-night accidents. Some even think it was a marketing stunt back in the day to boost newspaper sales. But, what about the dozens of first-hand stories? What about the drivers who refuse to take Balit Drive at night? Urban legend or not? Something is definitely there. If you ever find yourself driving along Balit Drive at night, keep your windows closed. Avoid looking into mirrors. And whatever you do, if you see a woman in white standing by the road, don't stop. Third story. The Bunny Man, America's strangest urban legend. Urban legend from USA. In the woods of Virginia, there's a bridge where something unnatural waits. A figure in white, with an axe. They call him the Bunny Man. Deep in Fairfax County, near the small town of Clifton, lies the infamous Colchester Overpass, better known today as Bunny Man Bridge. At first glance, it's just an old, narrow railway bridge. But by nightfall, locals say it becomes something else. A place where a figure dressed in a bunny costume stalks anyone foolish enough to come near. The legend goes back decades. The story claims that in the early 1900s, an insane asylum near Clifton was shut down. During the transfer of patients to other facilities, one bus crashed. Several inmates escaped into the woods. All but one were captured quickly. The one that got away, he survived by eating rabbits, leaving their mutilated remains hanging from trees. And then, it's said, he moved on to something bigger. Locals say he started attacking people. And they started calling him the Bunny Man. Fast forward to 1970. Newspapers reported 2 separate incidents involving a man in a bunny suit threatening people with an axe. In one case, a couple parked near the bridge saw a figure run out of the woods, screaming at them for trespassing and smashing their car window with an axe. In another, a security guard spotted the Bunny Man lurking near a construction site. Police were called. Descriptions matched. A man dressed in a bunny costume, wielding a hatchet. But he was never caught. Parts of the Bunny Man story, the asylum, the bus crash, aren't true. There's no record of such an asylum or crash in Fairfax County history. But the axe-wielding man in a bunny costume? That's real. Newspaper articles from 1970 confirm police reports and eyewitness statements. The Bunny Man existed. At least for a little while. Narrator. Today, the Bunny Man Bridge is a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers. They say if you stand under the bridge at midnight, especially on Halloween, you might see a shadowy figure appear. Some claim they hear scratching sounds. Others swear they see glowing eyes staring from the trees. Many report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, like something, or someone, is watching them. And if you're really unlucky, you might hear the soft thud of footsteps getting closer. The Bunny Man legend sticks with people because it blends something absurd, a man in a bunny suit, with something deeply terrifying, being hunted. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't creatures from another world. They're people. Living among us. If you ever find yourself near Clifton, Virginia, and you're tempted to visit Bunny Man Bridge, just remember, he was never caught. And some say, he's still out there, waiting. Fourth story. The Slit-Mouthed Woman, Japan's most terrifying urban legend. Urban legend from Japan. Would you survive if a ghost asked you a question? A question where no matter what you answer, you might not make it out alive. This in the story of Kukase Kana, the slit-mouthed woman. Imagine walking home alone at night. The streets are quiet. The wind is cold. Out of nowhere, a woman appears. She's wearing a long coat. Her face is hidden behind a surgical mask. At first, she seems normal. In Japan, it's pretty common to wear a mask if you're sick. She steps in front of you. And she asks, "Am I pretty?" What do you say? If you say no, she pulls out a pair of scissors and kills you on the spot. If you say yes, she pulls down her mask. Her mouth has been slit wide open from ear to ear, a grotesque, bloody smile. She asks again, "How about now?" And no matter what you answer this time, you're not safe. If you scream, she cuts you down. If you say yes again, she might give you a matching scar, slicing your mouth so you look just like her. There's no winning. So where did this horrifying legend come from? The origins of Kukase Kana go way, way back, all the way to Japan's Heian period, around 1,000 years ago. Back then, the story was about a beautiful woman who was married to a powerful samurai. But she was vain. Obsessed with her looks. When her husband suspected she was cheating on him, he snapped. He attacked her, slashing her face from ear to ear. And before he left her to die, he screamed, "Who will think you're beautiful now?" Some say her rage and sadness were so powerful, her spirit never moved on. Instead, it stayed behind, hunting the living, looking for revenge. But why did this legend explode again in modern times? In the late 1970s, there was a wave of panic across Japan. Newspapers reported sightings of a masked woman chasing children. Teachers started escorting students home. Parents warned their kids never to walk alone. Some towns even upped their police patrols because people were so terrified. Was it mass hysteria? Or something else? Even today, there are reports from time to time. Quick glimpses. Strange encounters. Some even claim that Kukase Kana has adapted, that now she hides among crowds, blending in, wearing masks just like everyone else. Waiting. But there are a few rumored ways to survive if you ever meet her. First, confusion. If you answer her question with something vague, like, "You're average," or "SOSO, she might pause, confused, giving you a few precious seconds to run. Second, candy. Some stories say if you offer her hard candies, she'll get distracted, giving you enough time to escape. And third, outrun her. Not easy, but it's said that while she's fast, she's not faster than someone truly desperate to survive. Kukase Kana isn't just another ghost story. She's become a part of Japanese pop culture. You'll find her in manga, anime, horror movies, and even video games. And every version of her is just as terrifying. Because what makes her so chilling isn't just how she looks. It's that impossible choice. No matter how you answer, you're in danger. It's that feeling, the helplessness, the inevitability, that makes this legend so powerful. So the next time you're walking alone at night, and you see someone standing quietly in the dark, wearing a mask, watching you, if she steps closer and asks, "Am I pretty?" choose your answer wisely. Because you might not get a second chance. Fifth story. El Silban, the ghost who whistles. Urban legend from Latin America. Have you ever been alone at night and heard a strange whistle in the distance? Maybe it sounded faint, far away. You told yourself it was nothing. But what if the whistle sounding far meant it was already too late? This is the story of El Silban, the Whistler. The legend of El Silban comes from the wide, lonely plains of Venezuela and Colombia. A place where the wind whispers across endless fields and thick forests. A place where, sometimes, you can hear something else carried on the breeze. A slow, eerie whistle. The story begins with a boy. Once, there was a young man, spoiled and cruel. He had been given everything he wanted, but it was never enough. One night, filled with rage over a simple argument, he murdered his own father. Some versions say it was because his father refused to hunt deer for him. Others say it was jealousy or pride. Either way, the boy committed the unthinkable. And when his grandfather discovered what he had done, he cursed him. The boy was tied to a post. Lashed until his skin hung in ribbons. Salt was poured into his wounds. He was set loose, but not free. His grandfather unleashed savage dogs to hunt him for eternity. And he gave him a punishment. The boy would carry the bones of his murdered father forever. A sack of bones so heavy, it would break his spirit and soul. From that moment on, he became something else. Something inhuman. Something cursed. They say that at night, if you listen carefully, you can hear him wandering the countryside. Whistling a chilling tune, 7 musical notes, rising and falling endlessly. But here's the part that will send shivers down your spine. When you hear El Silban's whistle sounding loud and close, it actually means he's far away. But if the whistle sounds soft and distant, he's right behind you. There's almost no escaping him. Some believe that if you hear the whistle, you must pray. Pray fast. Because if you don't, he will drag you away. Sometimes, he simply drains your soul, leaving your body cold and empty. Other times, he tears you apart, adding your bones to his endless collection. Over the years, the legend of El Silban has taken on new twists. In some places, it's said he only hunts drunkards, womanizers, and bad people, punishing those who behave immorally. In other stories, he stalks anyone unlucky enough to cross his path, no matter who they are. He's not a warning. He's a sentence. People say dogs can sense him before humans can, barking frantically at the wind, sensing the death that approaches. Others say you can protect yourself by carrying a whip, a dog, or chili peppers. Things he fears from the time of his brutal punishment. But most agree. If you hear the whistle, you should start running. Because you might not get another chance. El Silban has become part of the culture across Venezuela and Colombia. He appears in books, songs, festivals, even horror movies. His story is told to children, not just to scare them into behaving, but also as a reminder. Some crimes never end. Some punishments echo forever. He is a walking curse. A ghost bound by his own sins, condemned to roam the earth until the end of time. And maybe longer. Next time you're outside late at night. When the air is still and the world is silent. Listen. Listen for the sound of a whistle. If it's loud, maybe you're safe. But if it's soft, barely a whisper. Don't turn around. Don't look. Just pray. And run. If you ever came face to face with one of these urban legends, would you survive? Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. If you dare.